So in the beginning of trucks, they actually just classified them based on their payload, so the weight that they could hold in the back, because a lot of them were ranching and just used them for heavy carrying, so they needed to know, just by kind of looking at the numbers, how much weight that truck could carry. So they classified them by the tonnage, so they had the half ton, which was 1,000 pounds, the 3/4 ton, which was 1,500 pounds, and the 1 ton, which was 2,000 pounds. So it was just an easy way to classify them. So Ford started it again, as always, and they called it the F1, the F2, and the F3. After a few years of doing that, they kind of switched up, and they switched the name just to F100, the F150, and the F250. So they switched that, and they had that for a while, and then they realized that not a lot of people really liked the F100. It was just small. What's the point of having a small truck? It really couldn't carry anything. So they dropped the F100 from their lineup, and instead they added the F350. So that's pretty much where they got the F150, the 250, and the 350 that we see nowadays. But nowadays, those numbers don't really correlate to anything. So through the years, they kept progressing with better and better technology to make the payloads better and better on the vehicles. But Ford thought, instead of changing the numbers every year to try to correlate with the payload, they would just leave it, because it was just going to get confusing, because the payload just kept rising every year. So we still have the 150, the 250, and 350. Pretty much all that's telling you is the difference between light duty and a super duty. So the 250, 350 are the super duty, and the 150 is just the light duty. So it doesn't really correlate to anything with payload anymore, because my truck is an F-150, but it's got a payload of over a ton. So it should be considering pretty much a 350 back in the day, because it's carrying over a ton of weight. So that's pretty much how the numbers are, and that's how they stay today. And pretty much everybody else just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. They thought it worked out pretty well. So we got Chevy, we got Dodge. So that's where our numbers came from.